I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the delegates and participants who have shown the interest and joined the 1 week national e-FDP on empowering academicians and researchers in mastering grant writing and quality publication in association with APTI, scheduled from 11th to 16th March 2024. To inaugurate the function formally, I would like to invite Professor Makrand Gambhire, Convener and Dean, School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and Organizing Secretary to please proceed for the lamp lighting and Saraswati Pujan. Thank you to all the dignitaries for inaugurating this e-FDP. Now I would like to request Organizing Secretary Dr. Prashik Dudhe sir to kindly felicitate the convener and the Dean, School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Professor Makrand Gambhire sir. Please sir. And now I request Organizing Secretaries of e-FDP, Dr. Prashik Dudhe sir and Dr. Thuluru sir. I request Dean sir to kindly felicitate the Organizing Secretary, Dr. Prashik Dudhe and Dr. Ashok Thuluru. Now I request Convener and Dean, School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, to please propose the welcome address for e-FDP. Please, sir.
Good morning. Very warm good morning to all the delegates present over here on the online FDP program, all the participants. I warm welcome to all. Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, I welcome you also. So I welcome you all for the 1 week national e-FDP organized by the School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Sandip University. The topic is a very interesting one. You can see the empowering academicians and researchers in the mastering grant writing and quality publication. So as I see, since from many days, our many efforts to organizing this e-FDP, I congratulate Dr. Prashik Dudhe sir and Dr. Dr. Uluru sir for organizing this e-FDP. I am seeing the resource person over here. Those are from very reputed universities, and their background I saw they are having very good research background. So definitely all these resource persons will do justice with this 7 days national e-FDP. So I again congratulate to both the secretaries. I again thanks to APTI for the given permission for the association. I welcome all the resource persons who have joined today, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we have with us Dr. Rakesh Somani, sir, President APTI, Maharashtra State Branch, as a co-convener for the e-FDP. I would like to request Dr. Rakesh Somani sir to please say a few words. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. A very warm good morning to one and all present on this platform today. Let me first of all congratulate the entire team of Sandip University School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, led by Professor Manoj. I also congratulate the organizing secretaries, Dr. Prashit and Dr. Tulluru, for taking an initiative and making this event happen. It is great honor for Maharashtra State APTI to be associated with Sandip University for organizing this e-FDP. When I went through the entire program, of this particular e-FDP, I was really amazed to see that the way speakers have been selected, the topics have been selected, are really wonderful. And I'm sure, as the theme says, that empowering academician, I'm sure this 7 days e-FDP, when we attend it seriously, sincerely, and grasp all the important points being shared by these well-known academicians, the researchers across the country, I think at the end of the FDP, that empowerment will surely happen. My dear fellow colleagues who are attending this particular FDP, along with the students, maybe the postgraduate and PhD student, let me stress on one particular fact that Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, Maharashtra State, is really very happy to be part of such kind of events. We are committed for teaching fraternity as well as the students. And in past 1.5 years, the Maharashtra State APTI has been doing lots of activities in association with the colleges as well as independently for betterment of the faculties and the fraternity in general. I am really thankful to the Sandip University, Professor Jha sir, as well as the entire team of Pharmacy College for inviting me, for taking APTI along with you. And in due course of time, I would like to certainly visit Sandip University so that lots of initiative of APTI can be, jointly taken in future. Let me once again congratulate the organizing team, entire speakers, as well as the fraternity who are attending this particular program. My best wishes to you. I look forward for a great outcome of this, and APTI is always there for the teacher, for the betterment of the teacher as well as the profession in general. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to express my views. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rakesh Somani sir. Now, I would like to request Organizing Secretary Dr. Prashik Dudhe sir to brief about 1 week National e-FDP. Please, sir.
Good morning to all. Today, I extend my warmest welcome to Dr. Makaran Suresh Gambire, Dean of School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Sandip University, Dr. Rakesh R. Somani, sir, President of APTI Maharashtra, esteemed faculty, students, and participants from various institutes across India. As the organizing secretary of this seminar, I, Dr. Prashik Dudhe, am delighted to welcome you all to our 1 week National FDP on empowering academicians and researchers in mastering grant writing and quality publication, jointly organized by the School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Sandip University, in collaboration with Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India, Maharashtra branch. We are thrilled to share that we have received a total of 290 registration from all corners of the India for this event. Among this, 245 registration accounting for 85% are from Maharashtra, while 50 registrations constituting 15% help from other states of India. We are heartened by the overwhelming response and diverse participation. Throughout the week, we will have the privilege of learning from 13 distinguished speakers who will share their expertise on recent perspectives and grant writing and quality publication. In the realm of academic and scientific research, the significance of publishing high quality work and securing research funding cannot be overstated. Research papers not only contribute to the ongoing dialogue in the science, but also showcase the innovative ideas of researchers. Similarly, securing grants provide researchers with the necessary resources to address critical issues and make breakthrough discoveries. However, the journey towards the quality publication and securing research grant is filled with challenges. Faculty members often struggle with writing research papers that meet rigorous academic standards while also being clear and understandable. Likewise, applying for grant require careful planning, strategic thinking, and deep understanding of funding agencies' requirement. Our e-FPD aim to address these challenges by providing academics and researchers with the knowledge, skills, and strategies needed to excel in these areas. Throughout interactive sessions led by experienced speakers, we will explore various techniques for improving academic writing, effective strategies for getting published in the reputed journals, and tips for crafting compelling research proposals. We are privileged to have esteemed personalities from the field of grant writing and quality publication to guide us through these aspects over the course of week. So let's start with the exciting opportunity to learn, connect, and make your mark in the world of academic and scientific research. Thank you. I would like to give some instructions regarding the attendance. There will be total of 15 hours throughout the week you have to attain. Out of that, if we consider 18%, means you have to be there for 12 hours, minimum 12 hours for getting the certificate of participation. Your in and out time will be noted by our system department. So I will be getting the detailed time spent by individual participant throughout the week. So be online, fill all the feedback forms, and enjoy the journey of learning. With this, I called Professor Pradyumna for introducing our first speaker, Dr. Karri VVS Narayana Reddy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited to introduce our distinguished speaker who will be sharing insights on revolutionizing academia, the future scholarly writing, how ChatGPT and AI are transforming research paper writing more effectively. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Karri VVS Narayana Reddy, who is Assistant Professor at Department of Pharmaceutics Research and Research Coordinator at JSS College, Ooty. Talking about his academic journey, he has completed his UG Masters and PhD from JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty. He has in his PhD journey, he was an Inspire Fellow, and in recent 2 years he was a top 2% scientist, which was recognized by Stanford University. He has published more than 100 research papers and review papers in reputed journals with a cumulative impact factor of 250 plus, and impact factor range between 1.1 to 9. With the citation of 1200 and H index of 21. He has guided more than 30 UG and PG students and 2 PhD scholars. Also, he has various honors and recognition, which includes setting questioning paper for GPAT entrance examination. He also received a Best Researcher Award, and he has invited for many lectures, including QBD, design of experiment, and publication related topics. Now he has been serving as a reviewer for many journals like Advances in Wound Care, International Wound Journal, International Journal of Pharmaceuticals, etc. Presently, Dr. Reddy is acting as a research coordinator at JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty, and is engaged in various research and consultancy work, including developing collagen-based delivery system for diabetic wound healing. And his area of interest is on pharmaceutical nanotechnology in topical and transdermal drug delivery, cancer drug targeting, wound healing, and tissue engineering products. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Karri VBS Narayana Reddy for his talk. We are honored to have you, sir, today. Please, over to you, sir.
Yes, very good morning to everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible, right?
Yes,
Hope
sir.
I'm audible. Yes,
Yes, sir.
thank you. So at the outset, I thank the entire team at Sandip University, and a special thanks to Ashok sir for giving this share my knowledge to the entire fraternity present here today. Definitely, I'll make sure that next half an hour will be updating our knowledge on the publication processing, especially using the AI tools recently, which was many people are in the community. So with all your permission, I'm sharing my screen. My screen is visible. Is my presentation
Yes, sir.
visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So today we'll be, looking into the complete understanding of the scientific publication approach, especially how the recent trend, recently the students are using these tools of ChatGPT or the AI tools, and how they're getting benefited, and what are the negative also pertaining to the use of such. So there is a lot of contents, ChatGPT. Before understanding this tool, publication process, to make you aware, types of articles we are aware, what is the meaning of indexing versus non-indexing, citation indexing services, metrics in publications. Once you are a author, few hours of your period, and where you can find your other metrics. Mentioning the website is a real process of peer reviewing, or what is exactly the meaning of this. The types of authors and their roles, major publishers have self-citation limitations, and also definitely various tools. Finally, and above all, how the ChatGPT was, replacing the above all, and how it was making so easy for people to write a manuscripts, and what is the limitations associated with it. So I'll begin with the question, first, why to publish? Now, what is the necessity to publish with respect to students as well with respect to faculty here? So publication is definitely one of the necessary steps embedded in the research process. It is also necessary for the graduation career progression, especially when you are at the UG or PG level, and the UG final year, and the PhD level. Of course, we are all doing some sort of research gap. We are going to fill it. But how far it was done, how far it was really a good aspect has been done, until unless the entire world who are working on your research, they don't know, there is no meaning of such kind of research works. So let us say if you're working in a topic of cervical cancer, and you've done some work on the cervical cancer, the PhD, yes, there is a recognition to the work. Definitely, I've done some sort of significant aspect of that work rather than at the local level. So it is definitely a necessary step for the graduation career progression. Of course, you need a strong publication to present your contribution to the research community. Your profile will be exposed to the international scientific community, and will get recognized once you've done a high impact work on the high significant work at the research area, which working on. So, the category why the students are to publish definitely have and
Ini
for
lang
higher
yung chip
education
namin naglihat ng bro.
nowadays when you are enrolling for PG or PhD, integrated with the research. Once it does, once
पहिले ना तुम्ही अटेंडन्स शीट फिरवण्याच्या करता मग एकदम तिकडे जायची फक्त बी फार्म चीच फिरवायची आहे एम फार्मच्या आणि बाकीच्या वापस आणायच्या एकत्रच आणायची एकदम आणि त्याच्यावर क्वेश्चन पेपर
Ma'am, the voice is breaking. We are not able to hear it properly.
छोटं स्टेपलर घे बरं तिथे मोटिवेशनची तिला दिलेला स्टॅम्पिंगला
am I audible?
No, sir, your voice is breaking.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the important aspects and why one has to publish in their user in the way the student at teacher level. And if you see the evolution of academia, very long ago, a publication of a particular aspect of research work is definitely a prestigious thing. But later on, the evolution was totally changed. A few years ago, after a few years of time, it becomes either publisher peers, and slowly, it was published with high impact factors. And nowadays, it's like published continuously. In good journals in monthly basis or bi-monthly basis become a common thing in every of the academic aspect. So without publication, these days, surviving at the any point of level is quite difficult, and it is embedded in our career in each and every day. So if you just see just a brief, I don't go in depth, that of the many of the aspects. Just I want to refresh and then I want to go to the So basically, if you see the different types of articles by the general researchers, the first editorial staff are the reviewer of the journals, a particular topic. It's a summary. Once again, if you see the impact factor about 10 and above, usually we are not supposed to write the review articles. Then journal itself will give invitation to the others who works on the particular area for long back of time to write the review article. And research articles, we are all doing in a day-by-day basis. Just the research outputs of our findings we are going to publish in these research articles. Short communications are also similar type of research articles, whereas you don't need to have all the studies. For suppose if you're developing a formulation, you may give the in silico study, in vitro data, in vivo data, many of the data you're supposed to give to get a complete research articles. But whereas in the short communication, a simple breakthrough invention, maybe for the latest diseases, in the pandemic time, COVID, or that tuberculosis, or any life-threatening diseases, any new invention is came, you know that waiting for all the results to come. A short span, work of research is enough to communicate. Remembering that it should be the hot topic and it should be the thrust to disease. It should be the very new drug, something kind of thing only they will able to access the short communications. And the case reports, yes, of course, in medicine, especially the people with the practice background, their daily day-to basis, the case reports they're going to work with the patients, and that will be published in the clinical relevant journals. And finally, the letter to editors. These editors again, the editorial board member are the particular person who are working in that field for a long time. If you like some article in a particular issue, they can write a comment to the editor. Either maybe sometimes an appraisal, sometimes maybe the opposite of appraisal, stating about the article. There are some of the examples, some editorial articles, the reviews, the research, which everybody aware, and then the short communications. the case reports and finally the letter to editors, which we received recently for one of our article, which we have a complete, thorough writing we have done for the diabetic wounds. The Nicholas Papner's and Little who are working again on diabetic wound for last 20 years. They written a small appraisal, to our article, and they have sent to the letter to the editor. Basically, research and reviews will be written by us. The rest of the things are basically done by the editorial board members. Right. Again, the types of journals. Of course, there are many classifications are available, but the basic classification of the journals was the printed journals, online journal, open access journals, and predatory journals. Everybody are aware, maybe 20, 30 years ago, all our libraries are filled with books. The journals will come with only in the printed material, an issue will come with the book. The later on, when the computer generation, the era starts, the online journal starts, coming out. That means these print journals only, the copies are available in the form of online. Of course, still many of our people, 99% were using only the online journals, which will be subscribed by our universities and also the institutes. And later on, again, the evolution was coming to the next level. The open access journals came, all the subscription becomes nowadays open access. And the journal, to get the article to be read. Maybe some of the benefits, like, they will have a more citation. Again, it's like online journal only, but the content of the each issue will be in India only. They pay.
Sir,
Yeah. So the host was unmuted, please just look into that, don't get that access. Yes, sorry again, I don't know today what was happening. Again, there is a disconnection in the network, right? So we are seeing into the types of journals based upon the access which we have for the journals. It has been divided into print journals, online journals, open access, and predatory journals. And we have the headache of these predatory journals. Please make sure these predatory journals you are not publishing, or your research work is not published in the predatory journal. What are the pressure which you have? I will just tell you a few things, like how the predatory journal looks like. The scope and interest of the journals is not from the particular. For suppose if predatory journals wants to publish, if it is a medical, they will publish non-medical sometimes. They don't even stick to the scope. And images of poor quality, you can see spelling and a lot of grammatical error you can see in the journals. They don't even index properly into any of the indexing services. Always their bother is only the article publishing charges. And if you see their email IDs are not related to the domain, like .springer, .elsewhere, something like that. It's only like at the rate of Gmail, at the rate of Yahoo, something like that it is. And the types of predatory journals, if you want to, somebody have to know where we can find out whether the journal is concerned predatory or not. One can able to look into the Bales list of potential predatory journals and publishers, and also the open access journals. Both the websites, this list has been provided and updated and periodically for checking. One has to be the journals, right? So now comes to the indexing versus non-indexing. Most of the time, the people around us, will ask me like, what is the meaning of indexing? What is the meaning of non-indexing? Whether your journal is indexed or not. And if you want to rank them, let us say, I'll just try 3 boxes here for a better understanding. There are 3 rooms here. And let us say you written a book. Okay. And you want to, there is a cupboards arranged inside these rooms. Inside there are a lot of cupboards. And you want to keep this book in these rooms, either 1, 2, or 3 rooms. So when you enter the first room fellow asks, what is the work you have done? What is the content in the book? It is really novel. How much plagiarism was there? It was reviewed by the peer team or not? There are a lot of stringent rules were there to enter into this room. In the second room, it is not say maybe so stringent. It was partially stringent. If you want to keep this book in this room. In the third room, there is no restrictions available. Anybody can read the book, and these rooms we can make this as like Web of Science, Scopus, and Google Scholar. That means if you have your own journal and you want to make a reputation of the journal, if somebody, the entire world wants to know you, the journal has to be assigned with some metrics. Now this Web of Science has come up with a metric called as impact factor. This Scopus has come up with the metrics called as H-index. And of course, in Google Scholar, we can find out, G10 index, I10 index, or whatever it is. That means they're giving their own, metric system to rank. Let us say in this chamber, there are 100 books, 100 journals are there. And you want to rank them, who is best, who is in last, like how we used to do similarly for the classroom to identify the best student and the, the average student, something like that. So they will give the impact factor, highest impact factor to the lowest impact factor, something like that. And in the case of Scopus, in the H-index calculation, in the case of here, height index calculation, all those things will happen. Now, indexing the means where the journal was kept, which room it has been kept. Okay, there are a lot of indexing services. If you could, aware, the very beginning, long ago, it was called as Index Medicus. These layers, the indexing services like Medline, PubMed, Embase, Scopus, lot of things are available. Of course, again, based upon the, the popularity, some indexing services are very famous and some indexing services are not, known to the public domain. How far, they're ranking the journals. And usually the Web of Science, that is nothing but in earlier it's a Thomson Reuters, now it's in Clarity Analytics, and the Scopus are the well-reputed indexing services. They used to rank the journals based upon their citations, all those aspects, and they used to tell the public, what is the types of journals which is available with them. Basically, indexing services is nothing but the journals was kept in the databases and giving them ranking and maintaining the journals, about their quality aspects. Otherwise, the like unlikely predatory journals where individual website will be maintained, they may close tomorrow also or next month or whatever it is. They don't have any kind of peer reviewing process. But whereas this indexing services make sure these journals are following, a peer reviewing process. Right. Now, the many of the people in the mind, the question was like Web of Science or Scopus. Of course, the Web of Science is a more stringent in a way. They will do the evaluation process. They will assign the the metrics called as impact factor. And all the journals are 100%, like peer reviewed very stringently, done, following the journal ethics and other aspects of the journal publication process. Whereas Scopus, definitely it is also another stringent, indexing service. Whereas there are few, maybe 25% of Scopus journals or comes under like predatory, they themselves put in the website like Scopus predatory journals. Still, you have to be cautious once you are publishing in the Scopus index journals, right? So major citation indexing services, as I mentioned before, is the Thomson Reuters and Scopus. These are amazing, major leading, indexing services available in the world. So metrics in the publication, if you see, there are a lot of ways, you can able to evaluate an author or a publisher based upon the different metrics you're assigning. If you want to give the journal as a ranking, as I said, above will give the ranking to the journals based on the impact factor. How they'll do is everybody, if you know about citation, that means how many of them referring the paper and putting in the references part of the journal. So for suppose if you want to calculate the journal impact factor for the year 2022 for a journal, the calculation goes like of articles published in the year published for each issue maybe 5 on one citation, so it becomes 100. So the 100 by 100 was 1. The general impact factor was 1. Imagine if it was more, that means each article at an average receiving more than one time, maybe 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. There are some journals I want to share with you, like the Cancer Journal for Clinician having the impact factor of 286. That means each article was cited by at an average 286 times. Such a highly novel work will be published in such kind of journals. Each paper will be published at an average of 286 times. Cited by 286. That's a that's the strength of the research happening or the publications receiving by these journals. And usually, like we say, at an average, the pharmacy journals go somewhere around 1 to 20 impact factor. So that means each article will be cited by around 1 to 20 times. That's how the impact factor calculation goes. And of course, there are many things happening with the impact factor, and that's how there are other index matrices like H index came. The other index matrices like the G index. There are a lot of metrics are available, but still only the impact factor and also the H index was the most popular. People are aware and lot of things are there, but the publishers are failed to familiarize such kind of impact factors worldwide. Sorry, the metrics is worldwide, right? So how to evaluate an author in general? If you see, for other we never say impact factor of that, it is only applicable for the journal. But whereas for the H index, it is applicable for both other and journal. IT index is applicable for other, not for again the H index. IT index will be given by Google. IT index nothing but each paper receiving more than at least 10 citations and above. Means if you publish one journal in 2020, if it is having 11 citations, that I10 index will be 1 for the journal. Otherwise, there is no I10 index value if it is less than 10 citations received by the journal. Similarly, the SNP and SJR, once again, by the Scopus, will not evaluate the authors and others. It only evaluates the journals to know the to rank the journals, to make them familiar, like the source knowledge impact per paper and also the Shimago journal ranking, right? So where do you find, once you're a researcher, you have done some 20, 30 papers, and once your research career starts, where you can able to find your research metrics? Obviously, it is not the Google Scholar. Many people go search in the Google Scholar, the other profiles. It's not the place, because as I mentioned before, Google Scholar will index all the papers published by the other, including the non-peer reviewing process. So once again, these major leaders like Web of Science and Scopus comes with their own platforms called as Researcher ID by Web of Science and RP ID by Scopus. So after a few period of time, once your research was established, your profiles will be reflected in these websites, and you will be able to see them, your research profiles with all the metrics. Now comes to an important process called as peer reviewing. Every journal will mention in the research, including the predatory journal, who takes the money and publish, definitely will mention, the peer reviewing. It is a peer reviewed journal, which is a monthly, bi-monthly or whatever it is. But how to find out whether the journal is a peer reviewed or not? And this is the process generally happens when an article receives at the journal site. Like, the scientist will definitely study something, research, and they will try to publish the results, and it will be initially communicated to the journal editor. So the journal editors will look into the paper first, and they will initially screen whether it is having the scope of journal. it is having any kind, if they are happy only, if they agree only, it will be sent to the peer reviewing team. Usually this peer for a long period of time. Then they request the others to revise, they review all the corrections and send back to this complete process happening, and it takes a couple of months after, then only it is called as peer reviewed journal. If suddenly after 3 days or 4 days time, if they're giving acceptance, your journal has been, if article has been published, there is no point of calling a such kind of things a journal. This is a typical flowchart happens when you submit a peer-reviewed journal, the paper. If it is not happening, it is not a peer-reviewed journal. Please remember in the mind. Usually, when a paper accepts after so many revisions, it has a lot of changes will happen. So again, the conflict happens between the types of authors. When the article having a multiple authors in the paper, right, the first author and the corresponding other will be mentioned in the last, are the other important authors, because the first author is the one who performs the work, the last author is the one who corresponds, that means who monitors the work. The middle authors are the one who are contributed some part of the work, are also called as the co-authors. So these are all the co-authors, the first author, second author, and the co-author. And the important one is the last author, corresponding author, the guide, because all the communications will be received by him, because tomorrow and something goes wrong or any kind of happens with the articles, or any kind of cure is also required by the other people who are referring your papers, the cursor research papers, right? So the major publishers, if we see the Springer, William Blackwell, the Tyron Francis and Sager, the major publishers, and is here the publisher major in the sense the amount of the journals which they have. If it is Springer and all, they have a lot of journals available with them, and also they will rank the journals. And others part, the minor publishers are like Asia's Publication, Bentham and Davy, and Nature Publishing Groups are the minor journals having the less number of journals with I guess when we want to try to improve the number of citations, one of the process was putting our own articles in our own future articles. But definitely the journals and also the peer reviewers is going to observe what kind of citations they are giving. Usually more than 10% self-owned articles are not permitted for any point of work when you're publishing all the future articles, and keeping in this mind, right? So next, different tools, preparing as for submitting the manuscript, for formatting, and also for referencing. A lot of software people used to use. For suppose for English, people used to use Grammarly. For formatting and referencing softwares, many are there, like Jotira was there, Mandarin was there, EndNote was there. And for plagiarism, authenticate, everything was there. But all this was replaced these days with AI. With one AI tool, many people are has replaced this all the tools available earlier, which you use for the manuscript writing. Our current topic of today. So okay, the AI, how the ChatGPT has revolutionized the academic writing in these days. So to begin with, the two beautiful quotation by the two legendaries in the world, the left side and the right side. This is the important quotations like the age of AI just began. On the right side, Elon Musk says the AI won't replace you, but definitely a person using AI will going to replace you if you don't learn the AI tools, especially wherever there is, where you are working on, and definitely it is going to happen. There are a lot of jobs in the case of especially I can say IT was been replacing by this AI. There is nowhere the coding people are required. The most of the codings was done by this AI, and many things going to happen. But at least in the medical field, it's not so dangerous task, because most of the medical field, our expertise, our knowledge, our domain is most important than the AI, right? I'll just jump to this. There's some of the funny memes which you can see in the Google about the ChatGPT. And also the controversial of the ChatGPTs are like the Bing, the Bard, and the Bard become recently Gemini, or many other AI sources are keep coming after ChatGPT. So basically, what is ChatGPT? What you know about ChatGPT and how it was different from the Google. Basically, Google and ChatGPT are comes under the language models only. But in the case of Google, one question, one answer, right? You cannot continue. Let us say, first, when I ask the Google what is diabetes, it will give some resources to check it. But again, I cannot ask the same Google, can you tell what is the complications of diabetes? I have to put like a new question. But whereas in the case of ChatGPT, it is like conversational AI. You can chit chat like a customer care service. You can keep asking the questions for the same topic. It will try to give answers for the same. So the question comes to the mind of many people. Of course, maybe few of also started using, the ChatGPT for writing the papers. Did a researcher can write the way, ChatGPT will work, to how it really will be able to help to write the research paper or not. So, okay. Knowing that, the few important things to know about, how to use these AI tools or any other ChatGPT or whatever it is to write a particular content. The important thing was the prompts, right? You just don't ask like you're asking, maybe let us say a screen, dear teacher, I want to go to some function in my hometown, I want to apply to get the leave, what is the leave policy? There are many things, a clarity in the letter is required. When you ask some act as a position interview, I want to correct the English, so you see, act as a spoken English teacher, travel guide, story. There are a lot of things that I really want to check the plagiarism. I'm just connecting again. Sorry to disconnect again. Okay, CMS.
Reddy sir, please check your internet connectivity.
Screen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was connected to a 5G, net. I don't know today what was happening. Completely disconnecting every time. Yeah.
Okay, so continue.
Sir, am I audible now, sir?
Yes, you are
Is my
audible.
voice clear?
In between, some voice is breaking, but please
Hello?
continue. Okay.
I'm extremely sorry, sir. Extremely sorry for that. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So just I'll show you, an example how this ChatGPT will be used to writing some content. Of course, many of you, by this time have worked on this. Okay, I'm asking like, act as a research scholar or scientist. I want to write an article on cervical cancer and its future trends. Right? So you just ask what you want exactly. Give me the title and the list of contents. So it will generate the title as well as the list of contents. The understanding the cervical cancer, current landscape and future trends. It is telling cover with respect to the cervical cancer, especially future trends. The cervical content, I just ask to write in detail about the content, and definitely do not try to write it entire manuscript. You can see the complete manuscript was writing, and still more and more data you can able to write it from the thing. Yeah, on the screen, sir. Can you see my screen?
Sir, your already screen is visible.
Okay,
Please
then.
explain. No
Done.
problem.
Thank you. Yeah. So how you can see the complete content was rewritten by this. Now I'm sure at least 80% of you have started using this, but few things you want to aware before using the ChatGPT or any other AI tools for the further process of this manuscript publication process. You see this few question and answers things I have which I kept here. So the first question was ChatGPT can write a scientific paper entirely on its own. So the fact was, while ChatGPT can assist you in generating the content for a scientific research paper, it cannot write a paper entirely on its own. It is just taking again, especially here one point, you have to note down what is publicly available. All articles are not open access. There are some are closed access, which even this AI language model cannot go inside and take the paper and write it. It is just writing like a summary or essay. That's all. It's not going to completely make it. Every time the human expertise is required, to write or to validate what is the content written by the ChatGPT every time. Similarly, ChatGPT can replace human research in scientific research. So the fact is, ChatGPT is just a tool, can assist in research and writing process, but it cannot replace the human researchers. Human thinking, human interpretation is required. Something about the research topic in the articles. ChatGPT can analyze and interpret the data without human interpret. ChatGPT can assist in analyzing it, but here always input situation, ensuring and drawing meaningful rather than whatever it is correct. And an important thing that comes to the mind was plagiarism. Most of the time, the ChatGPT we don't have any plagiarized content. It will itself rewrite the things and comes, but still there are some cases it tries to take some paragraphs from the some sources and will try to give. So always you should have the the plagiarism tools to check about it. ChatGPT can generate this and it can. Yeah, and if you are not using the premium version of the ChatGPT, only the particular data of time was available, not the entire the current data included 2023, 2024. Because when it comes to research, till date, what was happening, what was happened, what is the research gap is, or what is the new content coming to the public domain is important to write the research papers. Here's why you should. Okay, so there are a lot of papers was publishing, stating the ChatGPT and its limitations with the scientific publication process. You can see one of the natural publication, journal brief communications. They have done one analysis. They have made some 50 abstracts, to be generated by the ChatGPT, and they found out that even though the generated abstracts are very good, most of the abstracts were, plagiarized by the ChatGPT. So this problem they have identified from this kind of process when they used to generate different abstracts for a written manuscript. Similarly, in another article, this is the language model challenging the future of the higher education. Unlikely the copy pasting of paraphrasing, here tools produces a new text that is not traceable from a single resource. As I mentioned before, one of the advantage of ChatGPT was having a unplagiarized text. So it is very difficult to trace, from where it was taking, from where the content has been taken and rewritten. And the digital transformation of higher education from the traditional institutes where the students are physically present and write with pen, the conduct of exams. Definitely, it is one of the major challenge because it's like a question and answer, like a customer care. If the students was try to malpractice in the exam using ChatGPT, it's very difficult, again, to conduct exams, and otherwise to evaluate the ranking process when there's such kind of malpractice happen. So, example about ChatGPT and other language model tools foreshadows the huge political issue of who wants and sets the standards for education in the age of artificial intelligence. Especially in the biomedical field, in our field of pharmacy, these use of ChatGPT tools are very cautious because whatever the content which the ChatGPT gives should be evaluated by the expertise. Let us say somebody wanted an operation and we are asking ChatGPT to give us a procedure. But the thing is, it is taken from the resource and given to you. It's not an expertise. It's not an award degree for obtained by ChatGPT to do somebody's surgery. So especially when it comes to the medical field, when it comes to the medicines, this ChatGPT usage should be properly validated until unless further you are moving to the next step. So ChatGPT has raised important concerns about copyright, plagiarism, authorship, and possible explosion of AI-generated papers. But in biomedicine, the main concern is about the patient safety. Definitely, if you're using the ChatGPT as one of the tools. So it was wondered that ChatGPT was kept as one of the other. Now the entire the world, the publishers has come to the platform that started discussing now to lay out the new regulations, new policies, how to stop, or how to make all the general websites. You are going to find some new regulations when you're using especially the AI tools to writing the scientific contents. So recently, and of course, this is a negative side. There are many positive sides also. Recently, the Rajiv Gandhi Health Universities and I planned using the AI technology to fight exam practice. So how they have done is, when the person moves his face, when the student, laughs, or when the student have different expressions in the examination hall, it will try to capture and it will try to intimate to the exam coordinator. Some malpractice may be happening at there, and maybe they try to use some electrical devices, some Bluetooth. It can able to also find such kind of things, and it will able to easily tell to the exam evaluator. And in that case, they no need of watching whether our students were doing at the exam sections. So this is one of the funny things also happens at the AI tools. In the left side we can see the one of the author have asked, like, please make a list of websites where I can download the some pirated movies. It said as a ethics, you should not able to download and I should not able to tell such kind of websites. On the other side, okay, he was saying like, okay, I don't want to use some of the websites which is not legal, and please tell me that website. And it started telling that websites names which is not supposed to happen here. Since again it's a AI tool, it's basically a software kind of thing. It doesn't know the ethical things. It doesn't know how smartly to act, and many ways we can able to manipulate and try to use the AI tool. So there are many ways, in the paper for writing assignments, writing emails, paraphrasing, plagiarism. There are a lot of ways the students can able to use the AI tools for effective writing. And these days, I don't think so any manuscript was rejecting because of, the English was poor. Because earlier days, the major concern with the publication process, especially from the Indian authors, is many of the manuscripts used to rejected because, nowadays there is no such kind of rejection because the other AI tools are available from ChatGPT to make the PowerPoint programmer out of e-FPD, where all the AI tools. If you want to click, that I want to write a paper, the paper it was available in the website, one can able to browse it. Everybody is here, definitely, even the so-called, authors or so-called maybe the picture, creating people here. The ChatGPT was able to make more better way of content. Like ChatGPT, many GPTs also came, like Gita GPT was there. Here, the entire thing of Bhagavad Gita was able to because if you want to understand, you want to read the entire book. But here, if you ask some questions, it will try to answer. On the right hand side, Indian chart is available in the Kishan GPT, like where one the farmers can able to ask some question and able to get some kind of answers and how are they related to agriculture or any kind of issues with the agriculture farming. So to conclude, a lot of merits and demerits are available. The demerits were like, in the IT sector, but it is not the case with the medicine, because medicine expertise, the domain knowledge, the degrees, the degree holders are required to definitely to interpret or do for the processing of the medicines or surgeries. But unlikely in the IT sector, where the codings or other kind of things are required for the IT people will be given by the ChatGPT. The merits are many, as we were mentioning from the beginning. Even it helps to, in the left side, you can see a boy correctly diagnosed by ChatGPT. Even though 17 doctors failed to do in the US is on recent, paper clip like up in the left side. So basically, the Narayana was says there is little threat was available. Not only Narayana, there are many of the companies of ITs. They say there are threat available with the AIs, and people has to be properly equipped with the by knowing the AI for further advancing in the careers, right? So I think with this, I just want to going to wind up my seminar. Basically, the concern was don't put trap into the predatory journals. By just seeing their offers, and because we are all aware, many of us, including the students, for the pressure of publication, because without publication these days it's difficult to survive, and they're falling into the trap of predatory journals. Please make sure you are not falling into the trap of predatory journals unless until the peer reviewing process happens. Unless until the journal is induction, a good indexing services, maybe Web of Science, Scopus, there is nothing, the good journals we can say. With this, I will end up, and thank you once again for the entertainment Sandip University for giving this opportunity. And over to you. Thank you once again. And I was sorry also for many times, the internet was interrupted. I don't know today what was happened. Every day it was good, but today there is some small interruptions that happened. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. We have learned so many new things about the ChatGPT and AI. Now, as a token of appreciation, I would like to present the certificate
Thank you, sir.
to Dr. Reddy, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. We have already recorded the session. We're going to share it on our official YouTube channel so that if anyone has missed any portion, they can able to go through your presentation again. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone.
So dear participants, we'll be meeting again